Summer can bring wild weather to the Susquehanna Valley, from intense heat and humidity to relentless rain and dangerous flash flooding. WGAL News 8 has the most experienced team of meteorologists showing you what to expect and the actions to take to stay safe when severe weather strikes. This is the Summer Weather Outlook.
Thanks for joining us as we get ready for those warm summer months. Hi, I'm Chief Meteorologist Joe Calhoun.
And I'm meteorologist Christine Ferreira. In this special, we will talk about how you and your family can stay safe.
We're also going to talk about weather that can affect your health during the warm months.
And as always, we will have your summer weather outlook. Will it be hot and dry or wet and cool?
Well, right now, though, we begin with meteorologist Ethan Houston and what makes a thunderstorm severe.
Thunderstorms are common, especially during the spring and summer. But only a few of those storms become severe. In order for a storm to be considered severe, it must meet one of three criteria. Wind speeds of at least 58 miles per hour, which is just over the speed limit of US 30 in Lancaster and York County. Hail the size of quarters, or the storm must produce a tornado. If any of these three are occurring or have the potential to occur, a severe thunderstorm warning is often issued for the thunderstorm. Straight-line wind damage can be just as bad, if not worse, than tornado damage. In February 2017, severe thunderstorms produced winds up to 90 miles per hour, leaving a 9-mile stretch of damage nearly half a mile wide near Brickerville and Denver, Lancaster County. 90-mile-per-hour winds were also reported that day from a storm near Frysville, York County, where roofs were damaged or blown off. Frequent lightning is not one of the criteria for a severe thunderstorm, but it can be deadly. Lightning is created by the charge of electricity built up in a storm. Smaller, lighter ice particles rise to the top of the storm and develop a positive charge, while heavier, mostly water droplets, sink to the base of a storm cloud, developing a negative charge. A massive charge then builds up inside a cloud and then gets discharged as lightning, either within the storm or to the ground. Most who are hit by lightning suffer only injuries, but 25 Pennsylvanians have died from lightning since 1950. Every one of those deaths were people outside. Some of the deaths happened when people thought they were far enough away from a storm. But lightning can strike as far away as 10 miles from a storm. When a thunderstorm approaches, get into a sturdy building or get into a car. If the car is struck by lightning, the electrical charge travels through the frame of the car around the passenger. Never stand under a tree, as lightning often strikes the highest point in a small area, which could be you if you're in an empty field. A park pavilion is not a safe place to seek shelter from lightning. In 2005, 21 people were injured in Lebanon County when a lightning bolt hit a pavilion and energized the ground beneath it. Stay indoors or in a car at least 30 minutes after the last time you hear thunder or see lightning before heading outside again. Remember, when thunder roars, go indoors.
That was Ethan Houston reporting. Well, severe thunderstorms can also bring punishing hail. Here's meteorologist Mary Ellen Pan to explain.
While not as frequent as lightning or damaging wind gusts, hail from thunderstorms is certainly a threat. Hail needs the right conditions to form. First, below freezing air aloft, then strong updrafts from thunderstorms. An updraft is basically the breath of a storm that flows from the base to the very top. The stronger the storm, the stronger the updraft. As big storms encounter this cold air aloft, the updraft carries water droplets to the freezing layer, where they become balls of ice and fall back down toward Earth. Depending on the strength of the updraft, this process can continue multiple times, causing the hailstone to grow in size. An updraft with wind speeds at 49 miles per hour is strong enough to support quarter-sized or severe hail. In the strongest thunderstorms, updraft strength can exceed 80 miles per hour and create hail the size of baseballs or larger. When the hailstone gets too heavy to be held up by the updraft winds, it falls to the ground.
With an updraft strength of about 64 miles per hour, hailstones can reach the size of a golf ball. And when hailstones this large fall to the ground at freeway speeds, they can certainly do some damage. like in May 2014 when a severe storm dropped golf ball-sized hail over the Berkshire Mall in Wyomissing, Berks County, causing millions of dollars in damage. Large hail is just one more reason to find shelter during any severe thunderstorm that develops. Mary Ellen Pan, WGAL News 8.
This was the aftermath of an EF2 tornado that touched down north of Pittsburgh back in March. National Weather Service says the tornado was on the ground for 9 miles. Now, another tornado touched down north of Philadelphia that same day. Ethan Houston explains how tornadoes form.
When you think of tornadoes, you may think of the Great Plains in the Deep South. But tornadoes can and do happen in all 50 states. Pennsylvania averages about 16 tornadoes a year, with the majority of them happening in May, June, and July. But they can happen year-round, and they can be strong. Our most recent strong tornado hit Campbelltown in Lebanon County in 2004.
I looked up and I about to start crying. I'm like, oh my God, we don't have a ceiling.
The F3 tornado had winds around 175 miles per hour and was on the ground for more than 7 miles. It destroyed 32 homes and injured 24 people. Tornadoes are ranked on a scale based on the damage they cause. The enhanced Fujita scale goes from 0 to 5, with 0 being the weakest and 5 being the strongest. The majority of tornadoes in the Susquehanna Valley are in the EF0 to EF2 range. Even though our tornadoes tend to be weaker, they still can cause considerable damage. An EF2 tornado with winds of 125 miles per hour touched down near Whitehorse, Lancaster County in 2016, causing damage to 50 buildings. The tornado ripped part of a roof off a building where more than 100 people were gathered for an auction.
Just all kinds of debris everywhere.
In 2019, an EF2 tornado hit St. Thomas Township, Franklin County, leaving a 3-mile path of damage with winds up to 125 miles per hour.
The whole roof was gone, just tore it right off the top. Metal wrapped in the trees. It was just unbelievable.
The Susquehanna Valley averages a little more than 2 tornadoes a year. Lancaster County and York County have seen the most tornadoes, with both counties averaging a tornado about once every 2 years. Tornado watches are issued by the National Weather Service if conditions are favorable for tornadoes to form. If a storm is showing signs of rotation on radar, or if a tornado has been spotted, a tornado warning is issued.
Call your attention this little curve down in here.
This is when a WGAL News 8 Storm Team meteorologist will go on air to warn those in danger and tell them to take action. Remember the word duck. The safest place to be is downstairs. If there is no downstairs in the building, the innermost room on the lowest part of the house or the building is the safest. Get under a table. A roof or wall may collapse and a table is added protection. Cover your head. Head trauma from flying debris is one of the leading causes of death from tornadoes. Finally, keep away from windows. Even weak spin-up tornadoes can send flying shards of glass through a room that can injure or even kill a person.
Now Tiffany Savona has some tips to help you stay safe when severe weather strikes.
Severe weather season is upon us, and we want to make sure you are prepared. It is never too early to prepare for severe weather, and practicing your safety plan with your family is key to making sure everyone knows what to do. First, get ready with severe weather outlooks days in advance. Second, get set or get ready to put your plan into action when severe weather watches are issued. And go. Take action now. Severe weather is headed in your direction. Let's break down these categories in more detail. First, get ready. Severe weather outlooks from the Storm Prediction Center are published several days before a potential severe weather event. These are typically large areas where severe weather may strike. Severe weather outlook categories are based on a 1 through 5 scale, 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest, with the confidence of severe weather increasing as the number gets higher. For example, a marginal risk is the lowest risk, and severe storms that develop should be isolated in coverage. Whereas in an enhanced risk, confidence in severe weather is higher, meaning severe storms should become more numerous in coverage. It is rare to see a moderate or high risk issued for the Susquehanna Valley. Marginal and slight risks are actually more common across Pennsylvania, and an enhanced risk is a bigger deal for us. Second, get set. This is when a severe thunderstorm watch or tornado watch is issued for your city or town. A watch means ingredients are in place and severe weather could happen. A watch is issued for a large number of counties and typically lasts several hours. Have a plan and be ready to put your plan into action. Adjust your schedule accordingly and be able to get in touch with family members if away from home. Third, this is when a severe thunderstorm or tornado warning is issued. A warning means severe weather is occurring or will occur in your area shortly. Warnings are more serious and are issued for individual counties. Take action now and seek shelter immediately. Notify family and friends of impending severe weather ASAP. The WGAL weather team uses impact and alert icons in our forecast to make you aware of potential bad weather. An impact day means disruptive weather is expected. Impacts are likely and the weather will be an inconvenience to you. Examples include dense fog, very windy days, poor air quality, or when heat index values rise above 100 degrees. An alert day is more serious and is typically when severe weather is possible. This is when weather could be dangerous and or life-threatening to you and your family. Examples include being included in a risk for severe weather, when a severe thunderstorm watch, tornado watch, or flood watch has been issued, or when heat index values rise above 105 degrees. Remember, our #1 priority is keeping you and your family safe. Stay with the WGAL weather team for the latest updates to your summer forecast.
Well, up next, what you need to know when the waters rise. We're talking about flooding, but first, a little trivia for you. Which year was the wettest summer in the Susquehanna Valley? We'll have the answer coming up.
Welcome back to our summer weather outlook. Before the break, we asked what was the wettest summer on record in the Susquehanna Valley. The answer is the summer of 1972, when more than 23 inches of rain fell at Harrisburg International Airport. The summer of 2018 was close, but fell just shy of the record.
And you know what 72 was? That was Agnes. Well, now Ethan Houston explains how flooding is the #1 threat to life and property across Pennsylvania.
It can happen in a matter of minutes. During heavy rain events, roads turn to rivers and streams turn into raging torrents, sometimes with very little warning.
Once it started coming down, it was about an hour, and I was getting water in my bottom door, and now it's 2 foot or more. It's sinking fast.
It can also last for weeks. Flooding is the #1 severe weather-related threat to life and property in Pennsylvania. There are 2 types of flooding: flash flooding and river flooding. Flash flooding is the faster and deadlier form of flooding. Flash flooding can occur minutes or up to 6 hours after heavy rainfall, a dam break, or sometimes in the wintertime from ice jams forming on rivers and streams. A flash flood warning is usually issued when the threat of flooding is immediate or within 6 hours. On August 31st, 2018, strong thunderstorms stalled over the Susquehanna Valley, dumping more than 10 inches of rain from Manheim to Mount Joy, Lancaster County. Joanne Zimmerman had to be rescued from her car after it stalled from the high water.
This happened really fast. That water came up really fast. Yeah, that was unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it.
The Center for Disease Control reports more than half of all flood deaths occur when someone drives a car into moving floodwater. It only takes 6 inches of moving water for a driver to lose control of a car or for the moving water to knock someone off of their feet. At 1 to 2 feet of moving water, a car can float and it can be swept away downstream. A flood warning is issued when prolonged heavy rainfall leads to flooding along or near rivers, creeks, and streams. The flooding in these flood warnings can last for days or weeks at a time. The Susquehanna River Basin is especially dangerous because of the steep hilly terrain and the river's wide shape that narrows at times. In 1972, the remnants of Hurricane Agnes dropped more than 15 inches of rain in Harrisburg. The Susquehanna River set a new record, cresting at 33.27 feet in the city. Nearly half of Harrisburg was underwater. 48 people in Pennsylvania lost their lives from the flooding from Agnes. Most of these flood deaths are easily preventable. If a road is flooded, do not walk or drive into the water. The depth of the water could be much deeper than it looks. The water could have destroyed the roadway below. Torrential rain from the thunderstorms in August 2018 washed away Old Forge Road and its foundation near Brogue, York County. Remember the simple phrase to save lives: turn around and don't drown. I'm Ethan Houston, WGAL News 8.
Up next, we're talking about weather and health. But now it's time for another trivia question. When was the hottest summer in the Susquehanna Valley? The answer when we return.
Well, before the break, we asked you what was the hottest summer here in the Susquehanna Valley on record. Well, did you guess it? It wasn't long ago, 2020. We had an average temperature for June, July, and August of almost 78 degrees.
Well, it's almost summertime, which means the WGAL Storm Team will be talking about heat index. Tiffany Savona breaks down why this is important and how you can prevent heat-related illnesses.
Did you know that heat is the #1 weather-related killer in the U.S. every year? Children can die within minutes if left inside a hot car. Summer heat can be dangerous and must be taken seriously. We frequently use the term heat index or feels like temperature in the summer to communicate how hot it will really feel when you factor in the humidity. This graphic shows how our body responds to hot and humid conditions. When the air temperature rises, so does our body temperature, but our bodies want to stay near 98.6 degrees. So when our body temperature rises, sweat is released from our skin. Now the water from the sweat will evaporate and essentially cool our body. So sweating is a cooling mechanism for our body. On humid days, we don't sweat as much, so our bodies stay warmer. Now, a heat advisory is when the heat index climbs between 100 and 104 degrees and low temperatures don't drop below 75 degrees for 1 to 2 days. An excessive heat warning is more serious and is issued when the heat index is expected to reach or exceed 105 degrees. Keep in mind that the air temperature is taken in the shade, so the heat index gives you a value of how it feels in a shaded area. Full sunshine can increase heat index values by up to 15 degrees. It's important to be able to recognize the signs of heat exhaustion and heat stroke and the difference between the two. Here are the signs of heat exhaustion: heavy sweating, cool, pale, and clammy skin, a fast or weak pulse, weakness, tiredness, muscle cramps, dizziness, fainting, or vomiting. So here is how you can help. Move the person to a cooler place, preferably with AC. Give them water, apply a cool compress, or allow them to take a cool shower. Heat stroke, on the other hand, is a medical emergency, and delaying medical help can be fatal. Someone with heat stroke has a body temperature of 103 degrees or higher. They also have a rapid or strong pulse. Their skin is hot, dry, red, or damp, and they are not sweating. That is a big difference. Headache, confusion, nausea, loss of consciousness. So you need to call 911 immediately. Do not allow any fluids to be given. Here are some quick reminders on how to stay safe in the heat. It's always good to wear a hat, light-colored clothing, and plenty of sunscreen. If working outside, take frequent breaks in shaded areas or inside an air-conditioned building. Most importantly, stay hydrated. It's always good to check on people more susceptible to heat-related illnesses, the elderly, young children, and those with underlying medical conditions. And please don't forget about your pets. Stay with WGAL, WGAL.com, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter for the latest updates to your summer forecast.
Well, our summer outlook is just minutes away. Here is our final trivia question. What year did the Susquehanna Valley have the most 90-degree days? The answer when we return.
Well, before the break, we asked you what year in the Susquehanna Valley had the most 90-degree days. Well, I was the only one alive that year, 1966. On the Storm Team, I should say. We had 60 days that year, Christine.
All right, let's look back at the summer of 2021. Based on average temperature in Harrisburg, it ranked as the 4th warmest on record, just a few places behind 2020, which was the warmest summer of all time. How about rain? Last summer was the 17th wettest on record with almost 16 inches of rain. It's 3 inches above average. The highest temperature recorded was 98 degrees, and we had 32 days of 90-degree heat in the summer. What I find most impressive is the amount of 70-degree lows. There were 46 nights in the 70s, which means 50% of summer nights were 70 degrees or higher. Will we see a repeat of this heat again this year, Joe? What do you see?
Well, Well, here's what these big computers in Washington are showing. Unfortunately, for those folks out west, more drought and wetter than average weather for us. And here in the Susquehanna Valley, I think I agree with this. Warmer to maybe even much warmer. There's some caveats, though, to that. Here's what we're thinking. Above average temperatures, but not as many heat waves. Wetter than normal temperatures or precipitation for this year. I think we started cooler but get hotter later in the summer. La Nina is still going strong. That keeps our pattern active. That's why I say I don't think we're going to have stretches of 90-degree days like we had last year, 3, 4, even 6 days in a row. I think it'll be shorter lived and not as prolonged. Big question mark is the tropics late in the season. That could make us wet later in the year.
All right, well, scan the QR code here on your screen to go straight to our summer weather toolkit. It's a one-stop shop for all of WGAL's digital weather tools that can help you prepare and help keep you and your family safe.
Well, thank you for joining us for our summer weather outlook.
Have a safe and enjoyable summer.